Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 11 starts now.
Good evening. The cases of COVID-19 continue to climb coast to coast. 41 new cases in Washington state announced today alone. And in New York, more than 2,700 residents being monitored by the Department of Public Health. The New York mayor going a step further, telling every resident who's been to a highly impacted country to self-quarantine for 14 days. Fear over the novel virus shaking the market, the Dow closing down nearly 1,000 points. ABC's Megan Trevisan is in New York with the latest.
The Senate today approving an $8.3 billion funding bill to combat the COVID-19 virus.
The bill is passed.
The novel virus prompting Seattle area district schools to close for 22,000 students for 14 days in an effort to slow down the outbreak. The state with the most COVID-19 deaths. Now, federal investigators asking questions at the nursing home where nearly a dozen people died. Families of the victims looking for answers on what went wrong.
Last time I saw her was last Sunday before the quarantine. She called me on Saturday. We spoke. And I asked how she was doing. She didn't really understand what was going on.
Off the coast of San Francisco, the Coast Guard dropping off testing kits to the Grand Princess cruise ship by helicopter to test passengers and crew potentially infected with the new virus. After an elderly woman died from being exposed during a cruise on the same ship last month. Some passengers showing symptoms, the ship not being allowed to dock.
We're just a little bit alarmed. If we've been exposed, we've been exposed, and there's not much we can do about it.
The virus impacting the economy, too. The Dow plunging 970 points. Some of the hardest hit companies, airlines. The International Air Transport Association estimates global revenue losses between $63 and $113 billion. Megan Trevisan, ABC News, New York.
And here in Kern County, fears about the coronavirus translating to empty store shelves, especially when it comes to antibacterial products. So much so, a local Albertsons posted these signs outside its doors today, limiting the number of wipes, soap, gloves, face masks, cleaning alcohol, and hand sanitizer to just 5 of each per customer. Now, local citrus farmers in Kern County are also feeling the impact of the virus tonight. That's because exports to China have been closed for several weeks, driving their costs down and labor prices up. Johnston Farms in East Bakersfield has been rooted in Kern County since 1947, but now fourth-generation farmers here say the coronavirus is impacting their citrus crop heavily. Those farmers telling 23 ABC that their international shipments to China have been blocked. They're having to cut their workers' hours, and they're having to sell their oranges and mandarins below market price until the port opens back up. Derek Vaughn, owner of Johnston Farms, says he's fearful that some citrus growers he depends on may start to abandon their crop.
It could get too soft or too rotten to where they won't be able to pick it in time. You know, everybody wants to get to all their growers, but sometimes a market like this, it may not happen.
We also reached out to the Kern County Farm Bureau to see if any other crops here locally are seeing a similar impact from the coronavirus, and they did not get back to us. However, Vaughn told 23 ABC tomato and lettuce farmers have also expressed they are seeing a slowdown as well. New details tonight. A major injury crash on northbound Highway 99 caused a traffic backup for more than an hour earlier this evening. According to the CHP's traffic website, the crash happened around 8:30 this evening on northbound Highway 99 near Highway 166. According to the website, there were multiple vehicles involved in the crash and at least one person had major injuries. As mentioned, northbound traffic was blocked for more than an hour as crews worked to clean up the scene. Information was not immediately available about what led to the crash. This is still a developing story. We'll continue to update it as we learn more online at turnto23.com. A suspect in a stolen vehicle led deputies on a wild chase through the Palmdale area with a hood blocking the windshield and 2 tires blown out by spike strips. By the end, the car was sending off sparks as it eventually slowed down near the 5 freeway. The driver jumped out and tried to dodge speeding traffic on the freeway before deputies were able to swarm him and take him into custody as he continued to struggle. Wow, close call there. You can see it on your screen. Tense moments. That chase started in the Palmdale area. The suspect eventually drove through a security fence at the Palmdale Airport and then got onto the 14 freeway, which is where this ended. There were unconfirmed reports that during the chase, someone in the suspect vehicle was firing a weapon at officers. 2 people have been taken into custody. Now to the developing story out of Tulare County. The city of Tulare in shock and mourning after a shooting left 1 person dead, 5 others injured, including a 7-year-old girl. Reporter Brian Johnson with our ABC affiliate in Fresno has more on how people living near where the shooting happened are now questioning how safe their neighborhood really is.
Linda Burleson knows she doesn't live in Tulare's safest neighborhood, but she was still shocked to find out that 6 people were shot steps away from her front door on Wednesday night.
It's just really sad. It's sad and it's scary. You know, it's like you can't go out, can't do nothing, can't celebrate anything for whatever reason. You always got to watch your back. Something's going to happen.
Burleson was sound asleep at the time, so she didn't hear the shots, but half a mile away, Kathy Stearns heard them loud and clear from her bedroom window.
There was intent to do something malicious. You could hear it in the shots. You could hear it in the way it rang out, and that was a little bit terrifying.
Tulare police say the shooting victims were part of a large group of people gathered for a celebration of life. One of the victims, 23-year-old Demetrius Perry Jones, died. A 7-year-old girl was also struck multiple times and brought to Valley Children's Hospital.
Unfortunately, somebody just had to come and take some more lives, and that's very unfortunate.
Insane. Absolutely insane that someone can do that. It's just horrible.
The shooting happened at an apartment complex across the street from a city skate park, but it didn't stop Sean Pollard and his cousin's son from spending some time there on Thursday. He says the community needs to come together and take a stand against gang members. Tulare police believe the shooting was gang related.
Because I'm not scared of these people. You know, they're not going to push me and my children out of this community just because they want to run and be little thugs or whatever they want to be.
Linda Burleson also hopes there's no more bloodshed because she says it's just not worth it.
People got to stop doing what they're doing. You know, it's not justifying anything. You're just hurting people.
That was Brian Johnson reporting. The Tulare City School District, citing state and federal law, says they cannot confirm if the 7-year-old girl was a student at one of their schools. District officials saying in a statement they send their deepest sympathies to those impacted by the event, and the district has school counselors available to speak with students who wish to do so. A man is behind bars after he allegedly made criminal threats toward a woman for being a felon in possession of a gun. According to Bakersfield police, this morning officers responded to an apartment on South Real Road regarding a criminal threats investigation. A third party told police a woman was being threatened by her boyfriend, later identified as 28-year-old Taiwan Carr. Officers attempted to talk to Carr about the investigation, but he attempted to run away. Police were able to apprehend him, and they found a gun, 2 additional magazines, and a jar of meth in his backpack. BPD says Carr is a convicted felon and is prohibited from possessing firearms or ammunition. He has been booked into the Kern County Jail. Shifting gears and taking a look at your first forecast, meteorologist Allison Gargaro has the night off. Looking at the radar and satellite today, you can see not much happening here in the county or across most of the state, just some light cloud coverage moving through the area. Looking at our temperatures right now, cooling off quite a bit from our high today. Bakersfield sitting at 63 degrees, down in Frazier Park 40 degrees, in Keene 59, and out in California City 50 degrees. As we're looking at our overnight lows tonight, we're going to see a low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow we'll be at 80 degrees, getting the chance to potentially break that record heat that we saw quite a few years ago at 82 degrees. We'll have to see just how warm we're going to get. We will have a look at your 7-day forecast, and there is the chance of rain and a guaranteed big cool down coming this weekend. All details coming up in just a few minutes. Next week, the Kern County Board of Supervisors will be considering several proposals to increase speed limits on various local streets. According to the agenda for the meeting, items 20 through 23 are all about speed limit changes. Those include a change of speed limits from 40 miles per hour and 45 miles per hour to 55 miles per hour on Callaway Drive between Brimhall Road and Rosedale Highway. Also changing the speed limits from 40 miles per hour to 45 miles per hour on Jenkins Road between Brimhall Road and Rosedale Highway, as well as a change of speed limit from 45 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour on Union Avenue between Fairview Road and South Chester Avenue. The final proposal is to change the speed limit from 30 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour on Hughes Lane between Terrace Way and Brundage Lane. The Board of Supervisors will meet next Tuesday, March 10th at 9 a.m. at 1115 Truxton Avenue in downtown Bakersfield. Check this out. The Buena Vista Museum announced that a private donor has just offered to match donations to the museum up to $25,000. The museum said every donation they receive until March 31st will be met with a matching donation. If the museum is able to reach $25,000 worth of donations from the public, the donor will match all of those donations, equaling a total of $50,000. The news coming as the museum prepares to celebrate their 25th anniversary. Museum officials said all the funds donated will bring in more technology to help bring the museum alive and into the 21st century.